In today's video, we're going to be looking at three-step linear equations. Now, more specifically, our equations are going to have variables on both sides of the equal sign. And so what you have to do in these scenarios is you have to get all the variables from one side to the other by doing the inverse operations, just like we did with the constants and the two-step linear equations. So in this equation right here, 5x minus 1 equals x plus 27. You have four different options on what you can do, but I'm going to give recommendations on that's going to help you guys do these problems in a efficient manner and kind of a consistent manner too, so that you can do this always this way in the future. So I'm going to write this problem down. Now, remember, always draw your line down the equal sign. Whenever there is not a number out in front of an x, we assume it's going to be a 1. All right, that invisible 1 is there. So, working through this problem, I have variables on both sides. I want to get the variables to one side. Now, you could bring the 5x over here, or you bring the 1x over here. I usually try to take the lower one, but some instances that's not always going to be the case. But in this case, I'm going to bring the 1x over to this side. So in order to do that, I'm going to inverse operation. I have to do the inverse operation to both sides. So 5x minus 1 is 4x. Those cancel, the 1x and the 1x, and I'm just left with 27. Now, this just becomes a two-step equation that we did in last lesson. So again, bring the 1 over, add 1. So then I get 4x is 28. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And then I'll get my final answer to be x is 28 divided by 4 is 7. There we go. So in my answer over here, I'm going to put in 7. Let's look at another one. Okay. Same deal with this one. So we have, let me change this color here. We have same deal here, line down the equal sign. I want to bring one of the variables over. Now this one, I'm going to bring the 7x over. So opposite operation, which is minus 7x from both. Whoa, 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 whoa. Minus 7x from both sides. And I'm left with, careful, -6 on this one. equals 2x, 9x minus 7x is 2x plus 6. Then it becomes a two-step equation. Negative 6 minus 6 is not 0. Negative 6 minus 6, if you think on the number line, you go left 6, then left 6 again, is going to be negative 12. Okay. Still got to get rid of that 2, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. So we put that in. And yes, good. Let's see if there's another type of problem that I want you guys to see. No. Maybe that was a good one. With both negatives. Yeah, let's look at one where we have both negative x's. We'll get to one. There we go. All right. So we have negative 6x plus 8. Negative 3x minus 10. Line down the equal sign. Now this one, you look here, negative 6 and negative 3x. The negative 6x is actually lower, is smaller than negative 3x. Not, again, you could bring the negative 3x over here, but I try to avoid using negative numbers, so I'm going to bring this over here. It's not always that we're going to bring the smaller number over, but I encourage that when you can. So let's look. All right, so I'm going to bring the negative 6 over. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So we get 8x is 3x minus 10. Then again, it becomes a two-step equation. Add 10 to both sides. So it becomes 18. Divide both sides by 3. And we get my answer is x is 6, positive 6. All right, good. So with these three-step linear equations, make sure, again, the line down the equal sign. You want to bring one of the variables over to the other side to make it a two-step equation like we did in last lesson. So work through some of these problems. If you have questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching today's video.